Picard, Episode 6, The Impossible Box. I'm Joe. Please subscribe to my channel. I am here with my very good friend, Steve.
Yeah.
I've known him for a long time, since about 1996. We've gone to a lot of conventions together. We've seen such amazing individuals, such as Tim Russ, Claudia Christensen, a beautiful collection of stuff and things, posters, animation cells, autographed Mookie Wilson photo. I mean, it's just fantastic, fantastic stuff. So I brought him along for the ride here on my Picard reviews.
It's for sale if you want it.
What did you think about this episode?
I liked it. I thought that it felt like the episode felt like 15 minutes long. It was quick, fast-paced towards the end especially, and I'm excited to see number one.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see number one. In this episode, Picard's voice breaks about 15 times. They don't change, they metastasize, or at the end he's like, please! He's acting like an old man, such an old man. What do you think about that?
You know, it's interesting that you bring that up because there's times watching this episode and the earlier episodes where, yes, this is the Picard of old, where he's in command and there's just a wisdom about him. And there's other times where he plays it like, yeah, he's losing his faculties a little bit. And he's kind of, some of the marbles are rolling around.
Well, this one I thought was particularly interesting because he was very, really up in arms about the Borg towards the beginning, getting really upset every time even talking about them.
Very similar to the line must be drawn here speech from First Contact.
And then they have the nice thing later when he meets up with you and kind of sees what they're doing and how they can bring people back and how they're more victims than they are monsters. So there's a nice story arc there. Brings up the idea of, Hugh says to him, oh, would it be something for a Picard who advocates for the Borg? And he even makes a face like, whoa. So they had a nice story arc there.
And Picard gets a nice little pat on the back at the end. He's like, keep up the good work. This is important.
Agnes, the doctor. So she celebrates the murder of her boyfriend by banging the captain. That was something else. I mean, after she killed the guy, I didn't know where they were going to go with her next. And they went there.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
That was unexpected. Yeah. I thought it was really funny, though, that whole scene, because she's like, first she kisses him, she's like, oh, I have this superpower where I can sense when I'm about to make a mistake. And then she realized, I already killed my friggin' boyfriend. What the hell does it matter? And she slept with the guy anyway. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this character. I don't know how they're going to have this woman along with them who already did what she did, and who knows what she would possibly do to Shoji when they get there. But you see at the end of the episode, they separate them.
Agnes is interesting because she speaks like she's in the 21st century. If you ever watch how she interacts, the other characters are definitely 24th century and their lingo. She's like, even my superpower, I think it's another point how she kind of speaks like she's in 2020 and not in the 21st century.
She does. That's an interest. Yeah, that is true. Picard, the user and abuser. And we had another perfect example of that. And that's the scene where Rafi calls in the favor. She gets the clearance. Her friend says, don't even ever call me again. And what happens? Round of applause from Picard. Yeah. They're all rounding applause. She just further destroyed her life.
Yeah, as she's like fainting and then storming off with like her bottle of booze, and like Picard just has this look where he's like content and like that's my girl.
When did he become such a scumbag?
Yeah, it's like go get her some help, Picard.
Yeah, really. Even in the episode when she comes, we have a stowaway. That was the 5th episode. We have a stowaway. Happy you're back, Rafi, and he's all happy. Yeah. This woman's falling apart in front of her eyes.
He probably got her the bottle. Probably.
And he doesn't care at all. So it's just amazing to see.
It's definitely part of the character now of Picard, where the agenda is definitely there's a selfish agenda, maybe, possibly.
No, yeah, I would say so. Nemesis, they had a Nemesis Easter egg with the little box at the end when he went to kill Shoji. That's been a constant theme of this show, of how much fan service they're giving, but it doesn't feel like that Star Wars fan service.
Yeah, it's interesting. Where we were talking about before how the show seems modern, but every once in a while they'll give you these little breadcrumbs. They'll mention Quark. They'll mention the Latinum in this episode.
Yeah, the Latinum, the box, what happens at the very end. All these little breadcrumbs and all these little callbacks, but they all seem to advance the story. Like it was like the Star Wars movies that just came out, they had all these callbacks that were just there for eye candy in many cases.
You see, this is clever though, how they do this. In Star Wars, it's just kind of almost lazy writing.
It's lazy writing, and this, I mean, the end was one of the biggest fan services. I called it a balls deep cut. Yeah. That was ridiculous where they came up with that, and it was clever and it worked. It worked that they used that, and it worked that that's how they're gonna go to Riker.
Right.
On Nepenthe.
Yeah, they were even talking about like undiscovered country potential.
Because of Rurapente. Yeah. Many moons ago, this kid in the video lab, when we met, the teacher was going through the different things about video, and he said, then you have saturation and you. And then I hear out of the back row a dying giraffe go, over and over again as the teacher's up there. So in this episode we have Borg. So anyway, but you was, of all people, the first person who saw Picard in the whole show who was happy to see Picard.
That's true. It seems like all these characters just want Admiral Picard to just put him below the floorboards and just forget about it.
But you was the first person who came and was like, it's so great to see you, a big hug, I'll do anything you want, saved him, and that was great.
He even referenced the Next Generation episode where it was like, Picard, just living by your philosophy.
Yeah.
What about that one random Borg who was like, oh, hey, Locutus?
I was wondering if anybody was going to say his name. And he's just running. He's like, Locutus?
Yeah. Like, how you been?
How you been, buddy? This is probably the most heavy Shoji episode they've had. But you said you thought the episode moved fast.
Towards the end, I felt like as soon as Picard gets to the Borg cube, that's where things really started to pick up. And that's where I wanted more, and then the credits were next. Yes.
It was a setup episode more than anything else. We have his boy Eldor.
Yeah.
Stayed behind.
And again, I think it just shows how Picard has not been good to these people.
No.
And he's like, okay, stay behind and...
Well, to be fair, he did say, come with us.
Yeah, but then, there wasn't a lot of persuasion. It
That's
was
true.
Like, I'll hold him off. Oh, okay, go. Yeah.
He could have said, come on. I mean, he kind of used and abused Hugh, too, because Hugh's the director of this project, and Hugh's about to be in a world of hurt.
You drag them both into the mega transporter and go 40,000 light years away. And...
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't make Hugh go as well, but I mean, I guess if he had stayed behind, they would have discovered this device.
Yeah, they did need a reason. It looked like in the coming attractions for next week, it looks like there's a torture scene with Hugh. And
poor Hugh, he deserved better. Hopefully Hugh doesn't end up like Icheb, his eye cut out.
I thought he was very good.
He was very good.
And again, we're talking, I think in the last episode, of characters that they could do a spinoff. They could do something potentially with Hugh Borg, and I think it could be interesting.
If he survives. Yeah. I mean, there's no guarantee he's going to make it out of this show alive. Tie-in novel says that when Picard left the Enterprise to go be the admiral of the task force, he left Worf in charge of the Enterprise E. Do you think that'll be something that they'll canonize, or do you think that'll be something they don't canonize and we won't see that?
I think it's interesting. I think Worf is one of the characters. I mean, I know that I've been asking, like, wow, I hope Michael Dorn is involved with this at some point. I want to see Worf. So I think they would be letting a lot of their fan base down if they didn't utilize Michael Dorn at some point.
I'd say that too. And I've also heard Michael Dorn say that if he's going to put all that makeup back on, it's got to be important.
And he was even the guy like in the 2000s when this era of Star Trek, they were doing nothing with the property. Michael Dorn was the one like rumored to get shows and be captain of a ship. So,
well, it's Worf, son of Moog.
So it's funny because I actually was reading and I heard a rumor that when they're talking about the Romulan Queen, that perhaps it could be Sella, who Denise Crosby, that character.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I heard Romulan Queen because Hugh says now we have the Romulans as a queen. He said, now we have a Romulan as a queen. So it was like, he didn't say the Romulans as our overlords. He said a singular person as their queen. You heard it was Sela?
Yeah, it wasn't something where I read somewhere that they were speculating that possibly, maybe it's Sela and she's running things from behind the scenes.
Wow, that would be outstanding. What if Shoji and Daj, because now that you say that, Sela would be interesting because a lot of this centers around Data. Tasha banged Data in The Naked Now.
One of my favorite episodes.
What if, now she says you are fully functional, right? What if he actually had sperm?
It's interesting because you think like maybe like Noonien Song, like when he was like in meetings and planning Data and was saying, Data, in addition to being fully functional, he has to produce like ejaculate.
What if when they banged, he knocked her up? She didn't know she was pregnant, and then when she died, somehow someone found the body and found that she was pregnant with Data's baby, and somehow they held onto the embryo for 30, 40 years, and that's where Daj and Shoji came from. That Daj and Shoji are the love children of Tasha Yar and Data.
Mine would be blown.
That would blow my mind. It would make perfect sense why Sela's in it. Write it down. That's got to be it. So do you have any other thoughts on this episode?
No, I thought it was quite good. It left me excited for episode 7. Bring on William Riker.
Yeah.
I want to see like what his house looks like, where he's been hanging out, how Troy's been holding up all these years. I'm excited.
Yeah, I want to see him step over a chair to sit on it. I want to see how fat he got. I want to see how hot, if Troy stayed pretty hot. I'm looking forward to episode 7. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel. Until next time.
Subscribe. Ha! Yeah, subscribe. Subscribe.